to talk with you all about poop. Have you ever noticed how cute babies are when they poop? Their faces get all red. They scrunch their little lips up and they grunt, and it's just adorable. We watch what goes in and we watch what goes out. Next comes potty training. They have these cute little toilets, little mini toilets. And we clap and say yay when they do their business. And we reward them sometimes with M&Ms. And then we go dark. It may be locker room talk, I wouldn't know. Sometimes they get the don't hold it. Sometimes teens get the don't hold it lecture when they go to camp. But for the most part, it just becomes something we try not to step in our lives. So when I was 50, I had my first colonoscopy, my first photo shoot up my rear. I awoke to more air exiting my body than anybody could humanly imagine, and a doctor standing there talking about how beautiful my colon was. Not a polyp in sight, the tissue was beautiful. I had a beautiful colon. Good to go, 10, 15 years, at least that long, good to go. In my 60s, I got this in the mail. This is called a Fit Kit. And I can't even begin to pronounce, but I know the first word is fecal. And it's a very complete kit. It comes with a little toxic bag and a little vial, and it tells you very, very nice, colorful instructions on how to use it. But the end result is you're supposed to poop on a piece of paper, put a stick in it, put it all together, and send it through the U.S. mail. Just the idea of all this poop, and I just noticed tonight that this goes to Oakland, California. So all this poop for Kaiser heads to Oakland, which is interesting. Well, I just laughed. Say what? You want me to do what? I have a beautiful colon. So it sat, and it sat. And that one I think I eventually just tossed. The next year rolls around, another one comes. And it sits. This time I have a physical lined up, and the doctor says to me, "You haven't done your Fit Kit." I said, I know. I know I've got a beautiful colon. So he says, "I want you to get that done." Okay. So I go home. Maybe if they'd offered me M&Ms or something, I don't know. But finally, I did get it done. A few days later, I got a letter in the mail. "We need to inform you that we found blood in your stool. Not to worry. Only 5% of the people that come up positive actually have cancer. Not to worry. But your next step is a colonoscopy." Okay. They're painless. They're humiliating. But they're not so bad. So I have my next colonoscopy. This time, when I wake up, there's a nurse sitting beside me, and she has tears in her eyes. And she says to me, "I'm so sorry." And I'm waking up out of this drugged state, and I went, ooh, this doesn't sound good. And she said, "I'm just so sorry. Usually it comes out good." And here comes the doctor. Doctor says, "Whoa, let's not jump the gun here. Let's wait until the biopsies come back." Oh, okay. That's good. We still have hope here. So sure enough, a few days later, I get a letter. We are happy to inform you, no cancer, capital letters. Enter Dr. Chow. Dr. Chow is now in charge because even though I supposedly don't have cancer, we have to get this mass removed. Dr. Chow says to me, I want to go back in. I want to do another procedure. I say, okay. He goes, you know why, don't you? And I said, I'm smart. You think I have cancer? And he says, yes, I do. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Let's do it. So I have my second procedure, and now it's the waiting game. So a few days later, and I'm at work, and the call comes in, and it's Dr. Chow, and he says, Ms. Westerlund, do you have a moment? And I said, yes, I do. Let me walk down the hall a bit. So I go to the hall and I sit down in a chair very similar to this. And he says to me, Ms. Westerlund, I need to let you know that you have colon cancer. The mind is an amazing thing. Immediately, 4 things came during this critical time, came to mind. The first, of course, was that I knew that my life, as I knew it, was forever changed. The second, for me, was that there'd be no sugarcoating it. I have colon cancer. Third, I knew at that moment that I was a survivor. Not 5 years from now, not when they say I'm cancer-free, but right then and there, I was a survivor. But the fourth thing, and for me the most important, is that the word absurd went through my mind, and I thought, there is one reason, and one reason only, that this has happened. I'm meant to help someone else. Somehow, some way, someday, I'm meant to help someone else. The next step was I got up and I walked down to my boss's office. Now I have to tell you, I'm kind of an orphan up here, and I was, no longer. And my boss and her family have just about adopted me. And so when I came into her office and I sat down, and she looked at me and I told her, and she said, okay, how can I help? What is the next step? She followed that up with doing some very incredible things, such as doubling my temporary last paycheck. They are the folks that took me to the hospital. They are the folks that brought me home. She set the stage for the next chapter, which has been absolute outpouring of love. So much love and so many good wishes coming my way that at times it was overwhelming. Sometimes very, very clumsy. And we talk about that here in this church. On Thanksgiving, I got a call from a friend I hadn't heard from like in a year. And I picked up the phone and I said, hey. And she goes, oh my God, I've been dreading this call. And I said, whoa. I said, why? And she said, because I didn't know what to say to you. I said, how about, hey Joy, I haven't talked to you in forever and it's good to hear your voice. From that point on, it was just a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I have another friend that can't refer to it as anything other than my medical condition. And then one of my dearest, dearest friends, I've actually had to say goodbye to for a few months because you get very, very clear when you're in my situation and you know what's healthy and what isn't. And my friend is a little loosey-goosey. I've always supported that and loved her just the way she is. But she's very loosey-goosey when it comes to big pharma. And when she suggested that I ask my oncologist how much of a bonus she was getting for signing me up for chemo, I knew that I had to say goodbye for a few months. And it was sad, and it was sad. I have to say, though, that without a doubt, I have spent the last 3 months riding on the wings of every good wish and all the love and prayers that have come my way. And I've had some beautiful moments. There's a small group of us. I live in a 55 and older community, and there's a small group of us. We are the late afternoon ladies that like to meet at the pool around 4 or 5. And one day I was down there with my neighbor, just the two of us, and we had just had some of those Life Touch photos done for our development for a directory. And so we're sitting there talking, and I looked at her and she asked me, if I was happy with my photo, and I laughed and I said, yeah, I paid the extra $30 to get it touched up just in case it's my memorial photo. And she looked at